Welcome to part 2. This is a continuation of part 1 under the same topic. So if you haven't already watched my part 1, I would strongly recommend that you first watch the part 1. In this video, I'm going to solve 5 problems, each problem with a minor twist. My suggestion is, when I present a problem, that you pause the video and attempt to solve the problem on your own using the method that I have already taught you in part 1, and then look for my answer. This will produce a good result. So let's begin. The first problem is 6x squared plus 7x minus 5. So what we do is, first we'll draw something like an x. Then we'll go to the first term, and then we'll concentrate on this x squared. So this x squared could be written as x times x, right? So we'll write one x over here, the other x over here. So this is the way it's going to be always for x squared. And then we'll go to this coefficient 6. So 6 could be written as 1 times 6 or 6 times 1. But we'll choose to write 2 times 3. Otherwise it won't produce the correct factors. And then we'll go to this one, it's minus 5, and then in this the 5 could be written as 1 times 5. So I will write 1 here, 5 here, and then because it's a negative 5, one of these, either this one, the 1 of 5, has to be negative. Then only we will get this times this is equal to negative 5. So I'm going to use the negative sign right here. Otherwise it won't produce the correct factors. Then we'll go along this line. So it is 2x here, this 5 here. So 2x times 5, 10x, and we will go this way. So we get here 3x, and here we get negative 1. So that's negative 3x. So when we add those two, 10x, that's this way, and negative 3x this way, it will produce 7x, same as the middle one over here. So you remember from my first video, one of those factors is going to be 2x minus 1, and the other factor is going to be 3x plus 5. So those are going to be the factors. Before moving on to the next problem, I want to show you a couple of things. Let me take you back to where we were doing the initial factoring. This is what I was talking about. In case if you were wondering why I didn't use this negative sign for this 5 over here, if I use the negative sign over here, then it won't produce the correct results. Let me show it to you. In that case, when we multiply along this line, we will get 2x times negative 5, that is negative 10x. And then when we multiply along this line, that's 3x times 1, that's 3x. So that's plus 3x here. So then it will be negative 10x plus 3x is negative 7x. So this negative 7x is not the same as plus 7x. So this won't produce the correct factors. Also, in case if we had used 3 over here and 2 over here, when we do that exercise, that is multiplying along this line, that's 3x times 5, that's 15x, and then when we multiply along this line, that's 2x negative 1, that is negative 2x. So it will produce 15x minus 2x, so that is plus 13x. which is not the same as the middle expression, that's plus 7x. So it won't produce the correct results. Let's move on to the next problem. Problem number 2, 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. So first we'll draw something like an x, and then we'll take this x squared and write one x here, the other x over here, and then 2 could be written as 1 times 2. Usually we don't write this 1 here, and then we'll go to the very last one, that is plus 1, and we could write it as negative 1 times negative 1. Then we'll go along this, that's x times negative 1, that's negative x. We go this way, it's 2x times negative 1, so it's negative 2x. So we could write negative x minus 2x, which is equal to negative 3x. This is the same as what we have in the original expression. So the factors would be x minus 1, 2x minus 1. That's it. Now let's move on to the next problem. Question number 3. Negative x squared plus 2x minus 1. So as usual, we'll draw something like an x, and then we'll go to this first term, it's negative x squared. So this x squared could be written as x times x, but we have a minus in front, so one of them has to be negative. So let me put the negative sign over there, and then we come to the last term, it's negative 1. So this one could be written as 1 times 1, but again it's negative sign in here, so one of them has to be negative. So I made this to be negative. Next, as usual, we'll multiply along this, so that's negative x times negative 1, so that is plus x, and along this line x times 1, that is again plus x, so that will be x plus x, which is equal to 2x. So this 2x is the same as the middle expression in our original quadratic expression. So the factors would be minus x plus 1, and the other factor will be x minus 1. Let's move on to question number 4. Negative 9x squared minus 6x plus 8. As usual. And then we'll take this x squared, so it could be written as x times x. And we'll go to this negative 9, and this 9 could be written as 3 times 3. But this negative 9, so one of them has to be negative 3. Then we go to this plus 8. It could be written as 2 times 4. And as usual, we go along this line and this line, so that will be negative 12x plus 6x is equal to negative 6x, which is the same as the middle expression, negative 6x. The factors would be negative 3x plus 2 and 3x plus 4. So let's move on to the last problem. Question number 5. Negative 3x squared, negative 7x, negative 2. So as usual, and then the x squared could be written as x times x. Then here we get negative 3, right? So this 3 could be written as 1 times 3, right? So there we can put 1, but usually we don't write 1 as 3, but it's negative in front, so one of them has to be negative. And then we have this negative 2. 2 could be written as 2 times 1, and because it's negative, one of them has to be negative. So I made, once you multiply like this, you will get negative x. Once you multiply like this, you get negative 6x. That will be equal to negative 7x. So that negative 7x is the same as the middle expression over here. So the factors would be x plus 2 and minus 3x minus 1. So this concludes my 2-part series on this topic. Hope it was helpful, and thanks for watching this video.